Women, of course, have been part of every period of migration to the United States. Even in the period before independence, the colonial era, the women were part of the labor migrations. They were a very significant part of the coerced migrants who came as slaves. And they were indentured servants looking for jobs as well. They were part of the refugee migrations. In the 19th century, women migrated on their own to seek work, but they also, yes, they did migrate together with men to settle on the land. Women migrated in search of factory jobs, to reunify families. They sometimes came alone with children, even in the 19th century. Over time, of course, the backgrounds of those women changed, as did the backgrounds of immigrants to the United States, shifting from Northern and Western Europe to Southern and Eastern Europe and Asia, and to today, when the majority of migrants, of course, come from Latin America and from Asia, and increasingly also from Africa and the Caribbean. So women have been part of every migration. They've been motivated by a desire for labor. On some occasions, they've been motivated by a desire for adventure. They've accompanied men. They've preceded them. They've followed them. They've worked and labored in very large numbers, and changing jobs, of course, since the U.S. has and its economy have changed substantially over time. I've always been puzzled that we're only interested in women when they come by themselves. Even as members of families, women work. And they work for wages, and even as mothers, women work. And that work shaped immigrant communities, made them resilient and important places of both resistance and cultural change. So whether women were few and on their own, or whether they came with families and in large numbers, it's worth paying attention to their special responsibilities as workers, as mothers, and as members of communities.
But why do most women come to this country today? Why do most migrate to this country?
Well, they come for a number, women have come for a number of reasons, as Donna had said initially, and always have. Most are coming for family reunification, but you also have professional women that are coming today because the United States represents opportunities that they do not have in their own countries. And they come for education reasons. So it's for all the economic reasons. Some women come because of the horrors in their own country. They're escaping abuse, they're escaping wars. I have stories from my school of some women that it's just heartbreaking. The wars that they've escaped, poverty. So it's all the same reasons that women have always been coming to this country. They come today. I think the one difference that I find today is that there are more educated women coming into the country today that are looking for opportunities that America provides that they have not had perhaps in the past, and the opportunities that we provide today.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that in the 19th century, the typical immigrant man, like the typical immigrant woman, was a person with 3 to 6 years of education who anticipated working, if it was a woman, in domestic service, in industry, sometimes in the case of the women in industry until they married, and then again after their children grew up. Today, women are more likely to be educated, as are men immigrants. The U.S. economy has changed. The labor markets have changed, and with it, both men and women immigrants have changed. I think in our discussions about immigrant workers, we tend to actually to forget that some of them are highly educated and highly trained. In fact, one of the most common ways to immigrate to the United States for both men and women actually today, unlike the past, is to begin as an international student and then to transform your status once you are trained and there is an employer who wants to to hire you. That happens for both immigrant men and women. Overall, however, the largest group of immigrants entering the United States today do enter with visas that are for family unification. But that does not mean that they are not working once they get here. Of course, they are.